Okay guys, Red Pill Phil. Hope you're enjoying the content on the channel. I'm here with a channel favourite. We all know who this lady is, Linda Phillips. Bless you, Linda. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah? We're here at Telford at the Nagah Open Day event.
Yeah.
Now, you actually spoke briefly yourself. What did you think of the event?
I thought it was well attended, and the people who spoke was interesting, and they've all got a story to tell.
Yep.
And they were very supportive in that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised it was full.
Yeah.
Now, I know Anthony mentioned, there could be up to 30, 40, maybe 50 people, but people put ticks on Facebook that they're coming and they don't tend to show up. It always happens.
I think most of them showed up, though, don't you? They did, because I saw that there were quite a number of ticks. So.
Yeah. And everyone seems to listen intently to what was being said as well.
And I had all my papers out for people to read what I spoke about, saying where I think that icks are covered up.
Yeah.
And so my proof was there for anybody to have a look at, and I noticed a lot of people were looking at that. And so I think I've got word out here as well as in Rochdale.
Right.
But nothing's going to happen for our case in Rochdale. They've just kicked it into the curb and they're not going to do nothing. But if I can help any other lads get that same guy, I'm going to go all out and help them.
So you're not stopping?
Oh my heck.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, what gets me, Linda, is why, because this has all happened over a couple of month period, they've actually invited you in to say, well, we're going to look at this, and then they've dropped you again. I mean, do you know what that's about?
I didn't even get my son's name right on this statement.
Really?
Yeah, I was allowed to be in while he gave his statement. The first time he's plucked up enough, okay, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
2 detectives from Operation Jaguar came, spoke to him, and he made the statement. And they was writing it, not him, because he hasn't had an education really, has he? Because he's been knocked about. And in the end, when Craig threw him out, he said, "Go on, out." Because they was just saying, "Well, you're out of time really, there's nothing we can do." He said, "Well, it's took me all this time to give a statement, and now you don't want to know." I said, "Get out of my house." So he threw him out. Anyway, they came back. Oh, he phoned me. This guy, he phoned me and he says, "Linda, I think we can get this on the 1933 Children and Young Persons Act, that about the over 16 looking after an under 16. Right, so I googled that and I searched it and I thought, yeah, that's okay, we can do that. And then he turned up with the statement for my son to read. Gave it him to read, to sign. I wasn't allowed to be in the room because I was a witness to his abuse in my home. But my daughter was there. And this, we're going back 20 odd years, 27 years for his abuse that happened in my house. My daughter's 27. That's how I could pinpoint it to the week, because Charlotte was 3 weeks old.
Okay.
There.
Yeah.
And so they says, you can't be in with him because you're a witness. I said, well, my daughter's here, she can be his appropriate adult, can't she? And they said to her, "Was you there?" And she went, "Well, yeah." So do you remember anything about it? So she said,
a 3 week
old.
old.
3 week old, and I was in a Moses basket over there, so not really.
Yeah, was she taking notes in the Moses basket?
Yes, she was, yeah. She had a dictaphone recording it.
Live streaming.
She was Red Pill Charlotte. Anyway, so they said, "Oh, well, you can stay in with him then." She said, "I had to stop him on the 7th word." They give him the thing to read, and as he opened it, they started talking about the World Cup. Took his mind off it. So every time he started, my daughter saying, "Read that," as he turned again, "Who do you think's going to win the World Cup?" So he was...
Right, okay.
So anyway, he signed the bottom of it, so my daughter said, "Can I read that?" And they said, "No, but we'll read it to you." Now that to me, as soon as she said that, I thought, are they going to admit or add something to that, what he signed?
Yeah.
So she said I had to stop on the 7th word because they said my full name is blah blah blah, and they got the third name. They got his surname wrong. So she said, "Hang on, that's not his name. Where have you got that name?" "Oh, it's a typo." No, it's nothing like it. A typo is like one letter wrong or an extra letter or a Y instead of an I. That's a typo. No, it was a completely different name. So she said, "That's not his name." "Oh, right, well, we'll sort that out." And then off they went. And then they turned up at my house again, unannounced. So this guy was called Stuart, this detective. Now I was pretty pissed off that they got his name wrong, right? So as I opened the door, he said, "Hiya, Linda." So I said, "Oh, hiya, Steve." He said, "It's Stuart." I said, "Oh, of course it is. Come in." So he had another guy with him who told, I said, "I've not seen you before." So he says, "I'm called Simon." I said, "Okay, yeah, all right." So as he's talking and he was saying, "We can't do anything, it's out of time, it's time barred and all this, that and the other." "Well, what you been here for? Why? You knew how long ago it was, and blah, blah, blah." And I said, he couldn't even get his name right. I said, "You know what I mean, Dave?" Dave. And I winked at him because I purposely got his name right, because he told me he was called Simon. But I thought, no, you're having it, Dave. So in the end I told him to go away and don't waste my time anymore.
Yeah.
But as funny story about today, the other night I was talking to two of my daughters in my house, and I was talking about a social experiment that we'd seen on YouTube, and it was a girl in the house on her own, and a guy had worked it with her mum and dad that he could get her out of that house and into his car. No, he won't do that with my kid. We started talking to her on the internet, and she tells him that she's on her own, her mum and dad have gone out, gives this guy the address. So he said, "Well, I'll come up and I'll pick you in the car, we'll go for a drive, your mum and dad will never know." So I said, "Okay." She comes out of the house, gets in the car, and her mum and dad are sat in the back. "What the?" He's saying, "I'm sorry, Mummy, I'm sorry, Daddy." But that's how easy it is. Yeah. So I said, and there was another one with a child in a park. His mum was sat on the bench, and this guy said, "I'm going to do this and see if your child will come along with me." So she played along with it, and he won't go all the way with a stranger. Goes over to the kid, says something like, "I've got puppies in my car, do you want to see?" "Yeah." Held it down and went off.
Wow.
That's how easy it is. So I'm telling my kids this. Well, kids, one's 20-odd and one's 40-odd. I'm saying about this, and my phone buzzes, and I looked, it was a private message, and it was off Billy. Pag Billy. Okay. And it says, "Linda, I've got you to car share with Wayne for Telford on Saturday." I sent him the thumbs up about that. So I said, "I've got a car share down to Telford on Saturday with Wayne." And they said, "Who's Wayne?" I said, "I don't know." And they said, "You've just been lecturing us about getting in cars." I said, "Well, you know what I mean, I think I'm quite safe." But that was a bit of fun. You know,
Yeah.
Funny. Well, they got somebody in Rochdale a couple of weeks ago, didn't they?
So I believe.
Marched him over to the police station.
Yep.
Because the kids came, they've got him on 4 counts of trying to incite children to sexual activity. I think they were 13 years old, these girls. But it was 11:05 or something at night, and people were saying, "Well, what are these little girls doing out at that time?" But Mary had told her mum that she was staying at Jane's house. Jane had told her mum she was staying at Alice's, that sort of thing.
And they're the oldest tricks in the book.
Of course they are. I never did it myself because I'm pure and simple.
Of course, Linda.
Never smoked at school behind the sheds.
Right.
I was never one of those that bought a tuppenny cig from Donegan's shop.
Right.
No, that wasn't me.
Right. It's so ironic because Billy, like you say, that has actually gone to court now. I think he's telling me the case is on Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
He's pleading not guilty as well.
He's pleading not guilty.
So they've said, yeah. So Billy said he's pleading not guilty.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that he's going to try and utilise. Now, how much money is that going to cost defending him when he knows he's banged to rights and he was caught?
Yeah, he was caught chasing the girls.
So, what can you do there?
Well, what about that one in America, that archdeacon or whatever he is, saying he wasn't aware that it was an offence for a priest to have sex with a child?
Oh.
He wasn't aware at that time.
He wasn't, was he? No. Honestly.
They plead ignorance and they...
Of course they do. Of course they do. I mean, you wouldn't even take that from a 6-year-old kid, because a 6-year-old kid would know better than to give that answer. So it shows that they're that up against the wall, they're going to use such a naive kind of statement to try and get out of it. Now, the irony is that all the brilliant work that Billy's doing, Pag UK and Danny with Shatter Boys, they're still getting that target or, that connotation that the vigilantes.
I know, and it's ridiculous.
And they're doing everything by the book, Linda. There's nothing violent what's going on.
Professional about it as well. They tell the guy, "This is what we've caught you doing. Your taxi's on its way. we'll just stand here with you, you know, until they come. And that's about it. They might read out a few of the things that to prove it's him, you know, and he might, my account got hacked. That's an old one as well, isn't it? My account got hacked, and I've not written those, but when, you know, you can tell that they are. But they wait for the police. Vigilante would give them a good hide in there, and then wouldn't they?
Just deal with it.
Yeah.
That's not what they're about.
I don't know how far that is to come, you know, because I don't know how far off that is, because they're not getting. I mean, Dark Light's got his convictions, 100%, but there's a lot of them now who they're just getting bailed back out. And a year's suspended and stuff like that. What use is that? They're back on the streets to do it again.
So the level of emotion's going to then intensify into people are going to get angry because they're going to witness that justice is not being done.
It's not.
So then it's not going to be far to then assume that people will then start doing their own justice. And it won't be the likes of PAG that will be doing that. This will just be the average man on the street.
You'll get your knuckle draggers, as they call
exactly. You know, they just won't care and kind of instill it themselves. So we need people like Billy. You know, we need organisations that are doing that and shaming the police into, you know, actually looking like they want to tackle these issues.
It's just pen pushing exercise, like it was for my son this time. Pen pushing exercise. Right, we've filled in the forms and back file. You know.
Well, down to Nagah today, I know Anthony has told me that he'd invited a couple of councillors. I think one was Labour, and from the looks of it, I don't think they turned up.
Have you seen the stats on all these towns that have this grooming problem? I think out of 37, is it? 35 of them are Labour-controlled councils.
Right.
Or something like that. I know this. 2 of them are. Anyway, I don't know if it's 37 and 39 or 35, 37. But there's 2 that are not Labour Labour-run councils. So, what is it about? I think Labour they're wanting the vote from that sort of, that type of, the people, the community that they're in, the Asian community. I'm allowed to say that, I'm going to get a bullet in me. but that's true because they...
No, they do. They utilise people as a voting bloc, don't they?
Yeah.
So they're trying to appease to them in order to gain that vote from them. And what Anthony was telling me that rather than tackle the issue, he feels that, and he's heard things to suggest that they may want to stall progress with this until they secure the next vote, and then once
that's what happened in Rochdale,
exactly, and that's exactly what I said to him.
They wouldn't make a statement when that April the 12th publication. They said they were leaving it till after the 3rd of May elections. Now I had a meeting. I tried to get a meeting. Before that, no, couldn't get answers from anywhere. I finally got a meeting with Gail Hopper, who's the Director of Children's Services, but not till the 28th of June. And she said, that was dealt with. Anybody could have come, but it was 23rd of May. Well, I didn't know. You had to go on the website to find out. So every day was somebody supposed to get up and say, I wonder if Rumblow's making a statement today. So I didn't get, but I did get the minutes. But it's just the same that says lessons have been learned, that old fogey.
Yeah.
And this wouldn't happen in Rochdale today.
We want accountability for something that's happened that is so heinous.
I know.
And not just in one city, we're talking up and down the country. So it's so evident that they're doing absolutely nothing about it, and they've got the gall to then come out and try and getting people to vote for them.
I know.
Will you make it look as if you're actually doing something, and then you know what, people may consider voting for you, really? If
we had a UKIP in our area, I'd vote UKIP, because he's the only one, that Gerard Batten, he came up to support us on that 12th of April.
That's right.
He came up to Rochdale, and he was the only one. The Rochdale councillors didn't come out. They were hiding, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, remember on the steps. Remember how uncomfortable that councillor was when you and Gerard Batten were stood there and you were handing him that piece of paper? It was like his brew was going cold, and he couldn't wait to get in.
He wasn't a councillor. He was just a council minion. He was Rumblow's team somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he was called Rooney. Do you mean at the riverside?
Yes.
And he sort of scuttled in.
That's right.
Yeah, I think he was called Rooney because I shouted after him, "Don't lose that paper."
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, he didn't want to. He was going to put his coffee on that.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
Same as when we went over to the police station and everybody was behind us. You know, there was a lot of people taking their own footage of it.
Mm-hmm.
When me and Billy went back the next day to report a historic crime, the woman behind the desk hadn't heard an overview. I said there was about 70 of us here yesterday, handing a letter to Niall Parson, who the guy with the pips that came out. Never heard of it.
Just shows you.
Go away and ring 101.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're not interested, are they?
So we
They're
went
not.
back another week and we finally, it was a little girl who came out, probably on work experience, and we said, no disrespect, but can we get somebody who knows a bit about the history of Rochdale? She weren't even born when this was going on at first,
Certainly.
you know.
Yeah.
So she did bring somebody else out and they started the ball rolling then. But the ball got kicked to the curb again when that Stuart came. But I'd been warned about that Stuart from Martin. He said he's a snake in the grass him. Watch him, he'll change your words around. And he didn't really take, he said he was coming back for a statement off me. Never came back for a statement off me. Said I'd been trying to ring my daughter, he says, for a statement. Is she, he rang me, is she in? I said, no, she's at work. Well, can I ring her at work? She's a nurse, she's not allowed a phone to be messing about with the police at work. Oh, well, tell her to ring me. But by the time he gets home, he's not in work, you know what I mean? He was home 9 to 5 and that's it. But she's a nurse, so she can be on any hour of the day or night. 24-hour shift nurses, aren't they?
Of course.
But, so he never actually got a statement off her neither. So from a standalone statement off Craig. You know what they said to him and all when they was asking him questions? When he says, oh yeah, I got battered in the hall and I got split lip and I got black eye. What date was that? He said I was 9 years old. He said, how do I remember the bloody date? The only date I could remember was because Charlotte was a baby, 3 weeks old. So I knew it was the end of June.
I mean, to be so meticulous, to ask for a date.
Ask a 36-year-old guy what happened, what date something happened to him when he was 9 or 10.
But that seems so false because
I know.
To say they are being meticulous, they're being anything but that, but then they're going to be so pedantic over an actual day when they're not
if
taking...
If you can't give a date and a time, it probably never happened.
It won't, yeah. Or they could use that to say, well, there's too much of a grey area because we need to be able to pinpoint it. Yeah. Well, how about you maybe kind of look at this before the guy had nearly reached 40 years of pissing age? Yeah. How about that? Never mind asking him.
And then they say on that thing that I withdrew all my catalogue of complaints. I never withdrew anything. Why would I be stood here in Telford, miles away from home, coming down with a strange man? Lovely one, actually. But coming down with somebody I don't know on that journey. Yeah. To stand up and talk to people again that I don't know. If I've withdrawn all my complainents, I wouldn't give a shit, would I?
No, I know. They're just using that.
Past, yeah. All in the past, that. But they just paying lip service to it, but then they don't follow it through with the voice. Yeah. The lips say it and the voice don't mean it.
Yeah, they just want to put your file in the out tray as quickly as possible.
I'd love to know where those files on Cyril Smith are and the No View. Why are No View files shut for 100 years? I can't find where I've found that reference, but I'll keep searching because I found it and I thought, shock, you know, because that's like a census. They're making sure Linda's dead.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, they're waiting for me to pop off because I've been a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because soon as any evidence comes out, they know you're going to be there. You are the thorn in the side. And people, they don't want the story to come out, so they need a couple of generations to kind of get out the way. And then they'll slowly seep out, oh, well, maybe there was a problem there. But by then, the interest is gone, you know.
Well, they told the guy who I helped with some paperwork, because he's got his own case going on, they've told him, the police have told him there's no living witnesses. But, hang on.
What?
Hang on, no living witnesses, they told him. So he was quite shocked to see me on YouTube, and that's why...
You come back from the dead, apparently.
I did, yeah. I always told my kids I was going to bleed Norton, though. I'm going to leave lights on, I'm going to leave the toilet unflushed, I'm going to do everything.
Oh, you're an absolute star. Considering what's gone on in your life, Linda, you do make me laugh. You are such a character. So, you know what, we're going to call it a day here now, because I think we're going to be needing a canoe anytime now, because I don't know if it's picking up on camera, guys, but it's absolutely pissing down. And poor Linda here hasn't even got a coat, and I'm stood with a coat and a hat on.
My coat's in my bag.
Oh, right. Oh, you're being a trooper then? You're just being hardcore?
I've always lived in England, and it's always rained on me, and guess what, I ain't dissolved yet.
I tell you, I feel like a dissolve. I feel like the Wicked Witch of the friggin' East, me. I'm melting all the time. So we'll leave it there. Okay. Linda, is there anything you want to say as in parting words? Anyway, what's the next move for you going forward?
I still want No View lads to come forward. Apparently, Richard Scorer at Slater and Gordon has got about 20 to 23, I'm not sure of the exact figure. He's got those lads from No View going forward in a group prosecution. When I was at the council meeting with the Director of Children's Services, and there was a member of the legal team in, he said that they had about 11 No View boys who had started to take action.
Yeah.
He didn't say whether they was with a solicitor or not, but he said they had to postpone all the action till the ICSA report. He says, and now, after the ICSA report come out, very few of them have come back. But so we want them lads to, you know, it's over.
Keep the momentum going.
Get back on it.
Right.
And anybody else who hasn't taken any action, get in touch with me, Billy, Danny, anybody.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to Richard Scorer now, and he's willing to listen to any of these lads.
Brilliant.
He was at the ICSA report daily. He's no need to be, but that's how much interest is shown. Okay. So
that's the next move then, innit? Get these kids or these guys that have been abused historically.
And it doesn't
No
matter
View
whether
school
it's physical or sexual. Look,
or mental or whatever. It's
the physical and emotional harm that they've suffered. Because now that March 2015 Serious Crime Act has been amended on Section 66, it incorporates the emotional harm. But I just need to find out now with a bit more research whether that's from March 2015 or whether it'll apply retrospective.
Right, which should do.
Historic cases. I hope so, because then we've still got it. But they're telling me it's time back.
What society are we living in when you're going to forget a crime just because it happened 30 years ago? That's my way of thinking. Particularly something as heinous as this, so it's ridiculous that we're actually having that conversation, Linda. So best of luck going forward. As ever, you know my number if you ever need any help or any other chats or whatever, any way I can help. Got a star in the making here. Certainly someone that ain't going to go away, and honestly they're going to be gutted, because one day you're going to get what you want, Linda, and it will happen. Want that.
I'll be happy with that one guy who did that to my son, but if I can't get him, 4 other lads have said he's done this to them. That same person, amongst others, but he's my main victim. He's my target. He's going to be my victim. I told the police if he gets hammer wrapped round his head, come and get me. I said, because it'll be me that's done it. Now get out.
Linda's not messing about.
So can you see the headlines? 72-year-old mother bashes ex-magistrate on the head with a hammer. Gets arrested, and I'll say, I didn't realise it was a crime.
Yeah, exactly.
It was historical.
Yeah, just play their game.
Hysterical at the time.
Play their game. Thanks for your time, Linda. You're an absolute star.
You're welcome.
Brilliant.
Good to see you.
You too. See you later.